We're ready to go. Great, thank you. Thank you, everyone. My name is Gunsate. I'm one of the organizers for the 2024 GTPN Hackathon, and we've pretty much completed the entire hackathon session. So, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to all the participants, and we're going to get started with the final presentations here. So I'm going to introduce our three judges, and then we're going to go into the presentations. And each team has 5 minutes to present, and then the judges have another 5 minutes of just questions. And then we're going to keep going on through. In the announcements channel, I've also posted the order of the presentations as well. That was randomly chosen. There was no specific order for that. And now I'm just going to introduce the judges, and if you could just join me on stage when I introduce you, that would be great. First judge, I'm pleased to introduce our judge, Jamyoung Tenzing. Jamyoung is the co-founder and CEO of Centro Commerce, an innovative company helping e-commerce brands scale through AI-powered inventory management and forecasting tools. Centro has already secured about $2 million in pre-seed funding, led by Ripple Ventures and 2048 VC. On his page, he's described that his career mission as helping build something meaningful and changing people's lives for the better. With a background in business strategy and operations at Shopify, Jamyoung brings an extensive experience in e-commerce and retail technology space. He's known for using his technology to solve real-world business problems, particularly in supply chain and operations. And academically, he holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree from Queen's University, where he specialized in strategy and data science. So Jamyoung's unique blend of technical experience, entrepreneurial spirit, and commitment to positive impact makes him an ideal judge for our event. So please join me in welcoming Jamyoung Tenzing as our first judge.
Sorry, let me turn on my camera too. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm really excited for everyone's submissions and projects. Thank you, Noel, for inviting me to judge. And congrats, everyone, for your submissions.
Our next judge, I'm delighted to introduce our next judge. So Tashi Youngzom. Tashi Youngzom is currently the Director of Product Management at Walmart, one of the largest retailers in the world. And Tashi brings over 15 years of experience in product management and e-commerce, with particular focus on pricing strategies and customer experience. At Walmart, she leads end-to-end pricing for both Walmart.com and physical stores, overseeing development of merchandising tools, pricing algorithms, and using machine learning as well as competitive intelligence. Prior to Walmart, Tashi held leadership roles at Macy's and Bloomingdale's as well. So she has a plethora of experience over e-commerce, over the e-commerce landscape. And she's also actively been involved in mentoring and leadership roles throughout her career as a board member of GTPN North America. Tashi's extensive experience in e-commerce, in pricing, product management, as well as in user-centric design, makes her an invaluable judge for our event. So please join me in welcoming Tashi Youngzom.
Let me turn on camera. All right, let's see. Hi, everyone. Again, super excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And then I think the topic is really great. So really excited to see what's laid ahead.
Great, thank you. And then last but not least, I'm excited to introduce our final judge, Tenzing Wangdin. Tenzing is a senior staff software engineer at Iterable, a leading marketing automation platform used by companies like Zillow, DoorDash, and Box, with millions of users. With over 7 years at Iterable, Tenzing has been instrumental in scaling their data infrastructure to handle more than 2 petabytes of data. And Tenzing's career journey started off as a role as a project manager at Epic Systems, where he successfully managed a $3 million implementation of lab information systems. He then transitioned into the world of e-commerce analytics at Wiser, before finding his niche at Iterable, where he spent the last 7 years. Outside of his professional achievement, Tenzing has shown a commitment to community and education. During his time at UW-Madison, he founded the Tibetan Mentorship Program and served as the president of Badger Innovations, a student-run web development company. So Tenzing's unique blend of technical experience, leadership, and commitment to innovation makes him an invaluable judge for our event. So please join me in welcoming Tenzing Wangdin.
just starting my camera. Hey everyone, just really great to see all the hackers here. Excited for the project. Thanks so much for having me as a judge. Really excited to see what everyone was able to put together. Yep.
Right.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, thank you, thank you. So let's get started. So each team is going to have 5 minutes of presentations. We're going to have a timer set up, and then you'll pretty much hear the noise go off when 5 minutes is up. And that's pretty much it. And then you'll have some questions afterwards. So our first team is Team Summit Dance, and our second team is Tibbling. So just Tibbling, get ready afterwards. And our first team is Summit Dance. Please come join the stage.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So we designed a platform called Summit Dance. This is a platform that is dedicated to preserving and promoting our traditional music and dances from the Himalayan region, which includes Tibet, Bhutan, and Nepal. This is a hub for learning, sharing, and celebrating our vibrant cultures.
So before starting, we definitely wanted to have a basis for our user interface design. We wanted to make it visually engaging, and we also wanted to make an intuitive navigation so that people can easily find what they're looking for. And we also wanted to implement multimedia integration so that people can easily upload and export, MP3s, MP4s, anything that they're trying to find. For our tech stack, since most of our group isn't familiar with web design, we used Excalidraw for wireframe, which has an easier learning curve than other wireframes like Figma. And then for our web platform, we use React.js for front end development, and then later we'll implement Django for the backend. And then for our databases, which we also haven't implemented yet, definitely in the future we'd want to go with MongoDB for storing user data and other information. We also wanted to implement Zoom API for video conferencing calls.
Okay, so throughout the Himalayan regions, we have Tibetan, Bhutanese, and dance, as we said, and Nepalese. So all these dances have their own take on it, but most of them are done at religious festivals, cultural events, and social gatherings, and they all convey a different message. But one thing is common: they all love to dance and share their music. All right, so we created a comprehensive library. So we had 4 things that we wanted to implement, which is first a step-by-step instruction on how we could do the dances, and we provided clear visual guidances on them. Next, we wanted a platform where we could share music and rhythms that people can learn from. And then we also wanted to have like a place where that, again, like I said, learn from. So we had costume and symbolism. There we explained the traditional costumes and symbolisms associated with each dance. And 4, though we want to share and learn the differences, we want to make a platform where we could also highlight that.
And here we have a short demo of our site that starts from the homepage. We start from the homepage and then we scroll down to the different cultures. And then once we click on one of them, it takes us into the video library. And then in the video library, it includes the title, a YouTube embedded link, and then also, a description. And then later, not only will there be videos, but there'll also be tutorials, and also people can upload their own videos into the library. We also wanted to implement a forum, like a discussion page, such as Reddit. Here, users can, let's say you hear an old like folk song that you want to know more about, but the people around you don't know it. So you can ask online, instead of you can't just Shazam these type of songs. This is also where people can share their own personal videos of their performances or dances and music. You can also organize events and workshops. So this is what our video library looks like right now, but eventually in the future, we'll have it so that users can add to the library.
Okay, so as Tenzin said, we wanted to make something similar to Reddit, where we could share and comment and have a creative space for everyone to be involved in a community discussion. If we go to the next slide, we can see an example of that. Here we have a discussion page where we could just share anything we wanted. For example, there's a tab where we could attach a file, and then in the next image we see that someone uploaded a video. using the choose file tab, and then you could vote on it. There's also a comment section where you could reply to. As you can see, there's a comment that says, "Wow, great website."
So the way this website works is it definitely increases global awareness of our own cultural heritage, and also recently there's been a lot of new Himalayan artists, and if someone wants to find out more about them, this is also the site where they can do that. And then for scalability and sustainability, we can implement in the future cloud infrastructure for global reach. For community growth, we definitely want to boost engagement through social media, so Instagram, Facebook ads, stuff like that. And then we can collaborate with other cultural organizations, and that's it.
Nice, thank you. That was perfectly on time.
Mm.
Okay. The judges have any questions? Please join the stage.
I'm curious on your end. Do you think this kind of site is something that should be like maybe like web first or mobile first, like in your big picture of this?
Yeah, I feel like nowadays most people use their phones, like especially with like short form content. But I personally have more experience in web development, and so this was an easier route for me. But yeah, definitely it'll make more sense to become an app, a mobile app.
Any other questions from any of the judges?
Is the website running anywhere right now, or is it just local?
No, yeah, it's just local on my machine right now.
Okay.
I can
And you said you can upload a video or make a comment, right?
Yeah, you can reply to comments, make comments, upload videos, and you can upload any file, I'm pretty sure.
Any file. Okay.
Thank you, Summit Dance. Keep it moving, and thank you. Next team, we have Tibbling. Tibbling could join the stage, please.
Tadi ngazoji group aji project di main karalan tippling in share ya. Di ngazoji logo di cha deris. Ani ta ngazoji di main karga join problem che solution che ani business scalability che project. Ta udi aji base ka join deris la. Ani ta tangso problem rota sunada. Ye ta starting langi dishi ka suna ngazoji project di main goal karalan nada. The web application जो आता है कब शुरू होता है तीन आजो तब पाजो the online फ्री जान तब फिके जाना रे चिदांग जाना रे अनि को लोदांग जाना रे जादांग जाना रे या the symbol वे गाना या तब तीन आना जो फेवा पु बिनी जांग तुई रे अनि चिके दे आजो मी शेंबा सुजु फेवा महीन बा मी शेंबा है सुजु 그 장인우이나 비는 पे game structure गाना जाए रेसवा the problem दिखा रहे हैं decline Tibetan language provision the things जो शेंगे मंगोजी the पेपर ही ना बिने भी या वो लो शिंगो मारिया ची शिंगो mix it ची दा पे खागो ची दा अनि वो दी जो problem दी face ची है अनि फिर रोचा शमे 이게 장 그지 리소스 그 플레이 유니체 유튜브 나 쉐다 말아다 이게 저 쉐다 그 갖고 저 차대요 니 디가라 치게 되어 등에다 배바야 지수 심바징나 차등에 무슨 그걸로 배바기 커뮤니티다 디스턴스 차도다 동조시대 장 오데드 프로블럼 지나서 overcome से try 치고 담아는 저 बैकअप 되네요 Kadila solution दिखा लेना मज़ो है जी web application tippling ले आदि रेसवा tippling ले आदि interactive gamified platform चीज़ है इसमें इंगोने lawan shira with the current designed to make learning Tibetan fun and effective. So the game ka structure web application the design the symbol shape interactive videos ni the course level sorry lanada the web application the ta nanglo la journey jiyo la da o din ju pura kar ga la base la reading writing speaking ta as language jiyo la da main di chago ra this one ta o the strong shape ta as a main dribbling ka goal di chago I mean interactive lessons ra user as a jangne de la quick share da and filling the blank stare da and word list ya word list na da kora si khari jangi do na chamba maje chi da ko gone ko ne ta chi da o den
Tenzing,
la
Gonda, the slide the picture the under the slide 전부 멋있통입니다 단다. 같이 되겠네 고
ale on do de ta tongo de
The presentation mode 가 마셨네요. Bottom
tongo da di
computer that dribbling solution problem project business scalability.
ale ta sorry ta tongo da ta na ma chi ba ani ro cha de ya problem ding ye dishi ga teng da ta di dingol thong me na gon da shi da ta di ende cha de ra problem ding ye dishi ga teng da and solution ding ye dishi ga teng da tip interactive ta gamified platform chi cha de re sha phi di ma zo phi language di ya ko chi na ja che ani main ding a zo dribbling application di reading writing speaking ma cha de ra ni the project in as a na the nela ta the user quick state or the fill in the blank state or any word list ya ko kar ka jang sha wo the pura revision the recap share the business and scalability do la sama da ye premium mode
The times of
premium mode
30 second to
La.
30 second Kamachix class gonda the times of the king of the scarlet chas hote Kamachix kenga.
ale kamaji engagement thank you so the business nanglo la khacha de la na da business nanglo la ko yar gi shu ta ya khaji la na the basic features free day ja inya chira nanglo la premium che ne subscription che ne di nanglo ga features kina integrate ta ya ga no access share this ani target market the main Tibetan there the kha ko sa thod de de che ani chi ni pheba mai ba em nang che la chama ke da de ya wo du ju pura ta ma zo target market de chago de scalability do ina da scalable share the project is under local server la yiti ani dan de che na cloud na la che ya AWS to da Google Cloud da Azure da wo den de scalable share ji kunzo server strong idea ni future perspective da na di ana jo dribbling के website दे नि artificial intelligence का machine learning di back पर integrate छे नि कोरान कोरा automatic suggestion चे user दिगे level नता ने di हरे लना adaptive learning path learning di user ले ला कोरान की level पर course da and suggest छे ni security da का ni user data da ka ni secure di this so thank you for the chat
Okay, teacher, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Sibling is presenting all the way from India. This is
thank you
first team that's in India. If the judges want to come on stage and have any questions.
freemium model now lo premium app now kari lu en ba
premium ad nanglo la tanda premium nanglo la third la na starting la basically six kind je premium nanglo drosa na ko la sentence do the pura sorry sentence do the gangso sedang ni ko la ta that for interaction ya ko ta che
Interaction do we
la interaction experience with that ko sorry the pay will be try che
अनि आपला demo case so you give user design figmas do ke you
ya ko mas kon la sige la
no mock-ups or wireframes in zu ke you tibling ke aptila or
okay
demo
the layout there
no demo do
project
jigune wireframe do jigune
ale yeri gela okay changes things are
that's all
much yeah how de gela
no
the end is de gela layout दिया the user interactive teaching game की structure बनाया
that's all you know
Okay, Hanzo, team Tibbling. Next team is team Yamdudo. Yeah. Team Yamdudo. Not sure exactly. And then the team after that is Himalayan Eats. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Okay, just Taryn, just let us know when you're good to go, and then you guys can.
Yeah. Okay, let me put this in screen share. Oh, sorry. There we go. Slideshow.
All right, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Hello everyone. Welcome to our presentation. Our web app is called Nyamdo. So to give you guys a brief background, we all know that Tibetan Buddhism offers profound teachings and a rich cultural heritage sites that one can visit in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. But there are many factors that limit its access for global engagement. So one could be geography, second could be finances, and third, lack of understanding and awareness, and third could be the cultural disconnect. So we as a team, we strongly felt that together these issues restrict access, hinder understanding, and prevent a deeper appreciation of Tibetan Buddhist heritage. So our goal is to overcome these barriers and foster a greater connection with Tibetan Buddhism through innovative technological solutions. Next.
To address these problems, we created Nyamdo to make Tibetan Buddhism accessible and engaging through a virtual experience. Next slide. Our goal is to modernize the preservation and sharing of our cultural heritage. And what's great is that this can reach and educate people of all ages. Nyamdo offers more than just an educational experience. It provides a nostalgic journey for past visitors and a fresh, immersive experience for those experiencing it for the first time.
As for the software we use to make our website, we use React, Tailwind, and Tailwind CSS, and Material UI. Although we also use Netlify in order to publish and upload our website, it didn't successfully upload correctly and caused errors. Thus, we locally hosted it for right now as a demo, which will be presented in a second by our associate Tim. As also, he will explain the code.
And welcome to our demonstration of our product we made. And so what we made was something called Nyamdo. And so Nyamdo is essentially is a web app for people to go ahead and explore different types of places that relate to Himalayan and Tibetan culture. So historical sites, temples, lakes, and stupas. And so coming up at the front landing page, we have all these functional buttons like the button for the icon, home, planning your trip, and the about section where it's a little bit more about us as developers. And so, for instance, if you press read more, you can see a lot of details we all wrote about ourselves on your own time. And so, unfortunately, due to some issues with our hosting, you can go to this link here, but when you press on the actual functionality, for some reason it doesn't work. And due to time's sake, we didn't really dwell on it. But yeah, you can go ahead and see that on your own time. But on this local host, it does work. So when you go ahead and press a type of category, you can go ahead and see everything plays. Now, for our sake, I'm going to mute it because it's a little loud. And so you can go ahead and watch it, and eventually little pop-ups come up to teach you things. So for instance, here at 19 seconds, we get a nice little pop-up about the location, so the temple, the random things, and just as the person watches it, they have a chance to learn a lot more about Tibetan culture. And so going back to the home page, I want to talk about some technology we use. And so, oh, that's the wrong thing. Sorry, I apologize. Some technologies we use were different things like Tailwind to help style the HTML itself, and React as our overall framework for running our entire front end. And so the reason why we use React is because the component functionality is really useful and helpful for using things like Material UI. Now, these are a lot of words we're throwing around. Essentially, all it just means is the different puzzle pieces, as you may know as developers yourself, or perhaps not. But it's just a chance to really go ahead and cloud some of that hard, like, grueling work and really focus on the idea we want to portray. And so overall, we have all these different things, for instance, like our welcoming page, where we have all these different nice styling and shortcuts and just lots of cool things that we thought were really worth learning and going ahead and creating a nice, well-rounded project. We hope you enjoyed, and we will continue to explain more about our thought process for the future implications and current implications in our presentation.
All right. As you said, as for our future implications or our future goals, we hope to be able to utilize Firebase as a backend software and Google Gemini AI in order to help personalize your trip itinerary. This will be through the plan your trip form. We will find that right here. And additionally to this, we hope and aim to create a VR experience for those who wish to learn more about Tibetan Buddhism in order to fully immerse himself in a VR experience, in a first-hand experience of these holy sites. And that's it for our presentation. And thank you.
Thank you. Judges. Do you have any questions?
How do you think this kind of site makes money? Or how would you guys want to monetize this site, whether to keep it up or grow it?
As to make money, we can go through methods such as YouTube. And if we film our own videos, we can add YouTube ads, so we can make monetary gain through that. In addition to this, we can add some types of advertising like Google AdSense, I believe, in order to make monetary gain out of the website itself.
I think also we have a feature where you can plan a trip with us. So I think if we plan the trip, maybe we can monetize off of that.
Right. So this one seems focused on like planning trips, right, related to like basically to Tibetan or let's say like Buddhist sites. Have you guys thought about what does some of future expansion plan look like? Do you want to go beyond planning trips in future, or like have you guys thought about that at all, or you want to be focused here? And I know you guys talked about VR, right? But other than that, like, what other things have you guys thought about to be able to reach out to more people? Like how else can you think you can connect people to who would be interested in learning more about Buddhism?
Well, we also wanted to put some like mindful meditation and maybe some prayers added onto like when you're walking through the tour. Let's say that we're in Bodh Gaya and like there's a temple nearby and then you see a pop-up. We wanted to implement like prayers and so that we can practice and learn. And I think that's something that we really want to do in the future.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Could have the next team, Himalayan Eats, up, and the team after that will be Himalayan Culture Archive.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarang.
I'm Nawang.
I'm Ted.
All right. If we could just have video on, if it's possible, that'd be great. Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Sarang, and this is our project Himalaya Eats. So the Himalayan Food and Recipes portal is a web app that shares traditional recipes from the Himalayan regions. Users can explore a variety of dishes with step-by-step instructions on how to make them and the ingredients list. This platform allows users to contribute their own recipes and cooking tips as well as cultural insights. We also have our buttons on the side, which allow people to view, search, and rate apps, add recipes, and favorite recipes, as well as view their own profiles. The three main objectives we had were preserving culinary heritage, as traditional recipes are often at risk of being lost, so this app provides a digital archive to save and interact with them, as well as accessibility and global reach, as the Himalayan cuisine is not widely known or accessible outside the regions. So this app aims to break down the geographical barriers, and we also aim to do some community building with this app, as it will enable a broader community to share and discuss these.
So for the technologies we used to build the web app, first we used React with Byte for the front end. We also use Mantine with combination with React. Mantine is like a UI library, which makes it easier to build components. And for the backend, we use Firebase for authentication and also all the data regarding the recipes. We also hosted this project live on Netfly, so that those are the technologies. We'll do like a quick demo. This is a link for the app we hosted it on, so you could actually try it right now if you want to. Just Himalayan Needs Eat .netfly.app. So for the app, as you go on the home page, you'll see the dashboard and you'll see all the recipes. But I'm gonna first go to the login and register function. So if you click login, since let's act like a new user, we don't have an account, so we go to create account. We can say test 123. Just add like a Gmail and then test password. Once you register, okay, that's already in use. 123 at gmail.com. And then once we log in, register, you should be redirected. And if you see here, we have more options on the top. The first is we could view recipes. So on the home page, you can view all the recipes made by other users, and you could also search through them. So it's filtered by the name. So if I do, let's say Tingmo, then you could like kind of filter down to that name, or Momo. Yeah. The next feature is you can rate recipes. So if you open one of the recipes, you could see all the information for it. Example, their name, how many ratings they have. This is how many people rated, and then this is the average rating, and then who it is submitted by. So the user, description, the picture, how long it takes to make it, and then the ingredients, and then the step-by-step directions. And you also have tags. So you're also able to rate the recipe out of 5 stars. So let me just do that. Let's just rate this 5, and then if you post, then it should be posted. Now you see the rating is updated here and also in the database, which is Firestore. The other feature is we can create recipe. So if you go to create recipe, you choose an image. So I'll just do a quick, let's say laughing, and then just create a recipe real quick. I'll just copy paste some data so I don't have to type everything. Description, cooking time, let's just give it 20 minutes. Tags, let's just do spicy, tasty, and then the ingredients, I'm just going to do like 2 ingredients for now, just for example, 200 grams oil, 200 milliliter, and then for the preparation steps, You can add however many steps you have. You just keep adding, so you can keep going. So I'll just add 3 steps. And after you fill all the fields, just put create recipe. And then now if you go to the home page, you should see your recipe. And then you can just open it. It says submitted by test123. That's us. And then you can see all the information we just put, like 200 ingredients, this, and then the tags. You could also click on the user itself, and then if you click on the user, you could actually view their profile and then the recipes they made. For example, this is us, so we made this recipe just now. The other feature is we could also favorite recipes. So if you wanna, let's say, if you like one of the recipes, then you just click this heart button, and then it should show like a notification
we're at
saying,
time here.
oh,
Hang on.
oh, sorry.
We're at time here. If you just want to wrap up.
Yeah,
Last
so
closing
you'll see the
statements.
favorite after you favorite, and then those are basically the features. We just have like 2, 3 more slides, and then we'll done.
While creating this website, we faced some challenges and we also learned some stuff. So for the challenges, some of the challenges that we faced were time management and pushing and pulling repos. For time management, it was hard balancing the development of core features. And for pushing and pulling repos, we faced like technical difficulties, getting changes and loading in the changes. And for what we've learned, we learned collaboration, working together in GitHub, efficiency, and focus as well. For future development, if we were to continue on this project, we would add the ability to comment on recipes, sharing photos, sharing multiple photos, and when you're creating the recipe, and the ability to add video tutorials for recipes. And thank you for listening and giving us a chance to present our project.
Thank you.
Thank you. Judges?
So how are you guys thinking to get the initial database of recipes before you guys launch?
Also, since we don't have any users, we just like created our own accounts and then created some of the recipes.
So when you actually launch in the market, like that's how you're thinking? I'm not talking for the demo. I'm just saying, like, let's say this is something you want to actually launch it out there in the market, right? Like, how are you guys thinking to actually build or get that initial setup? Like, there must be like a minimum set of recipes that you guys thinking to go in the market with, and then of course you guys will get users afterwards, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like we can reach out to the community itself, and then like we can just add those data to the database before releasing the app.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so this is almost like a two-sided market, right? Because you have people creating the recipes and then the users of the recipes. So yeah, you're going to need some initial set of users or recipes to like set the seed, and then you kind of hope that other people are going to want to add recipes. So have you thought about what incentives you're going to provide to people who upload recipes? Then what would be the revenue model, right? You want to have something like Patreon where people can subscribe to
Yeah,
a recipe creator or that kind of thing.
sorry. Yeah, I think Patreon can definitely be one of the options, and then the other option could be like a subscription model. Like once we kind of add more features for the recipe app, like users can like when they create recipes, they can like add their own tutorial videos, and for other users to kind of access that, like maybe like we could add like a subscription model, so the way they can access those videos.
So when you guys were thinking of like Himalaya Eats, who was like the kind of person that you thought would like come out and like seek the recipes, and who was like the kind of person you thought would like come in and like write the recipes? Like what are those like like user personas like in your mind? Tarang, it seems like you had your hand up.
Yeah, it was like kind of like the first question that we posed when we were like, "Oh, have you ever like asked like a family member for a specific recipe, like dumplings?" But they always tell you like, "Oh, just add a pinch of salt, like a dash of this," and then you're like kind of confused but thrown off by what they exactly mean. So we're kind of like thinking like maybe like the people seeking out these recipes would be like more of the younger generation who wants to try out the recipes, try creating it for themselves, and then maybe like the older generation who wants to like share their family recipes and have it reach out to the community would be the ones posting more about it.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you to our Himalayan Eats team. If we could just have next team, Himalayan Culture Archive, and the team after that will be Sheja.
Okay, so yeah, we're Team 5, and the name of the project is Himalayan Culture Archive. It's a web application platform that offers virtual tourism experiences of the Himalayas on screen. And our team members include Kunsang Sireng, he's a third-year computer science student at Queen's College. Arjun Mongar, he's from Bhutan, and he's a third-year computer science student at a college in India on a scholarship. And I'm Tashi Palmo, I'm a technical system analyst and a QA tester for IBM. And I'll pass it over to Arjun to go over why we picked what we picked. And yep, Arjun, go ahead.
I can kind of start off with how we were trying to just build a web page of just making information of like our own rich culture heritage of Himalayas and how maybe inaccessible people, maybe how like we can help inaccessible people with disabilities, right, around the world, especially during times when, sometimes if travel is restricted for them, right, making virtual tourism. The webpage still not, if it's not working, Yenden, I could just share my screen because
You don't see the
you have to
webpage?
kind of share ours. No.
All right, you can share your screen then.
Okay.
Okay, so meanwhile, Kunjang Singh shares his screen first of all, the problem we're trying to solve is so literally the Himalayan culture exists and the variations are unlimited, but the problem is that it is not that much globally recognized. The traditions are unique and the stories are beautiful, but it does not reach to the global audience. And we thought that justice is not that much given to it. So there are people who wants to go to the Himalayan countries, but they cannot because of financial and other things. So our website is dedicated to celebrating and preserving the rich cultural heritage of Himalayan region with a focus on mindfulness, sustainability, and virtual tourism. This platform was developed to offer a comprehensive and immersive experience that underscores the spiritual, cultural, and environmental significance of the Himalayas. Through innovative virtual tourism, we aim to make this unique region accessible to a global audience, providing opportunities.
Arjun, you're breaking up.
I could start off.
Yeah, Kunsang, you
So
go ahead.
I integrated just like features using JSON language generator, just so like if user wanted to go Pali as a language or Tibetan, you could kind of do it. We could start off with English. So when we start, and then can kind of the mindfulness and wellness section where he kind of
So this is the sort of mindfulness and wellness section, and in this section we kind of just dive deep into like the essence of Himalayan mindfulness, and we start off with like an exploration of like the spiritual practices, the cultural richness.
Are you guys able to hear me then?
Yeah, we can hear. I can hear.
Okay.
Keep going, guys.
And environmental consciousness. And so after delving into that and showing sort of giving like a brief overview of these topics, we can see the like sort of Himalayan folktales. And Kunsang, if you like scroll deep, you could literally see like different types of cultural like passages and stories inside these Himalayan folktales.
And so there are several different stories and sort of stuff that you wouldn't like find like just simply and also there's like a lot of a curated YouTube list of just different like mindfulness videos that you can watch. And lastly, we could also have like we implemented the Google Maps API system where we use the embedded link, and we sort of just found nearby like meditation centers that are in New York City in all three boroughs, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. We can obviously go much more broader, but yeah, that is all the like nearby meditation centers. And if we go into sustainable living, we would see different types of like agriculture procedures that they would use. And in terms of like interactive infographics too, we have one of them. If you hover over it, you would see the technical training, technical farming, and then modern farming. And this graph sort of shows the difference between the two, and in terms of like organic and sort of water usage and carbon footprint. And you can also like join the community to share sort of knowledge, resources, and tips. And then lastly, we have another Google Maps API system where we find nearby Tibetan markets this time. Instead of just meditation centers, we could find different like markets around the boroughs to basically just support. And so now I'll let Kunsung take over for the virtual tourism aspect.
Are you guys able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so for this last section, it's a virtual tourism of where users can kind of try out and see just different places in, this is pretty much the Himalayas. And you could go to Everest, you could go to different sections of this is the base camp pretty much. And this kind of just focuses on how users can kind of explore different locations, iconic locations, like over here is in Kathmandu, Nepal, where we kind of have a couple of like the famous places in Kathmandu, where users can kind of see like a 360-degree virtual tour, where I kind of used 360 API, and just making them kind of feel like they're kind of there, or before they kind of witness it, like, you know, and this is pretty much this section of our virtual tourism. I feel, you know, last thing is pretty much like, I feel like the platform is very like a valuable resource, just because it's not only just for like potential travelers or just for just anyone interested in, you know, mindfulness, sustainable living, being like culturally educated, right? And by kind of like showing it and centralizing it within this current content in our project, we're just kind of helping bridge the gap between just people who are kind of with just distant culture, or just like overall a global audience to our project.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah.
End it there. Had some technical difficulties, so we let you guys go for a little bit longer, but judges, if you guys have any questions.
So how are you guys thinking to keep this sustained?
Sorry?
How are you guys thinking to keep this sustained?
Wait, hold on. So we were thinking, our web app, we can make it business scalable for anyone interested by collaborating with other businesses like flight, hotels, and then rentals, tour guides, even yoga masters, or like monasteries, right? So
so me and Kusan were kind of working on the development aspect while everyone else is working on everything else. But like we were working on sort of the immersive experience of this site, and I guess if we had more time, we would definitely do what Tashi said and like work on implementing more of like a booking system, or even like able to like find the best, cheapest, like, or recommended booking, and then like even like the flights and hotels, and then having that sort of into the website, since that will help with the tourism aspect.
Great, thank
And
you.
I would definitely say some sort of partnership, collaboration too, just collaborating with couple other people just to specialize on our like Himalayan studies. So being able to collaborate and yeah.
How do you like I think like the language interface is so cool too. That's a great idea to make it more accessible. I'm curious on your end, like how would you scale like the content side of this kind of platform, given like you said, like this is like a cultural archive, so like you kind of need like a contributor base of people who would like grow this out, whether it's people that you pay or people that might do it voluntarily. Like who do you think would contribute to this archive, and like what kind of things do you think they would do versus things that you would have to do as a team still?
I would definitely say that being able to collaborate with just friends or like universities or just research institutions that would kind of like specialize within our Himalayan studies, and just to kind of add our credibility into our content or into our project, right? And definitely kind of this wouldn't just be some sort of like just stuck between English, Tibet, and Nepal. I think I would basically add more features or just add more language across the globe and making it accessible for all various of users. If that answers your question.
Yeah, we used JSON as well to just sort of help incorporate like different people into the website and let it be more inclusive to every client.
All right, thank you guys. Did you have a question? If not, we can just move on to the next group.
Yeah, did you mention what the tech stack is here?
Yeah, so our tech stacks was JavaScript, basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We use frameworks for our React, JS for our components within our adding our language components in our React component. For database, we haven't used some sort of like platform to scale it. So we're hoping to kind of integrate database within MongoDB or PostgreSQL to just store some sort of dynamic content to our web page in the future. We use Get. Netlify wasn't working on our end. I'm not sure. Like it was just some sort of authentication error, but we like after this, I can definitely kind of share it so all users can kind of be able to kind of get around with it.
Yeah, Chart.js was also very important for our interactive infographics to help make it more immersive. And also we use like CSS3 for styling and just making sure that everything was user-friendly. And then we can't forget about the Cool Maps APIs and the 360 APIs that we use for the tourism.
If you click the Tibetan language, does that change all the text on every page?
Right. So we didn't have time to. I didn't have time to kind of integrate it within the whole section, but in the future, I'll definitely kind of when I do put in more language, I'll be able to kind of change it within these 3 sections. Because I was thinking of it at the beginning, but I kind of didn't want to waste time within just focusing on the language generator and focusing on adding more features within our 2 different sections that we had.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Let's have the next team. This can leave the stage here. Thank you. For the next team, Shija, and after that will be team Zomzom.
아니 드링 아니 오글레기 가텍 친구 되는 건데 정말 테스트 리슈에라 드링 만두기 만두 리미스 중에 아니 칼리 스웨어는 시자를 스웨어요 시자디 칼레나 신디 이해라고 시도요 신디 이해는 상담 먼저 연구다 이 상마 속과로 초대했다 신디 지유는 상마 부 민상마 좀 뒤qab라니 진짜 가르쳐보면 하먹으로 항상 해서 진짜로 치도 되게요. 니 학부는 안에 뭔지 귀신이 있고 안에 진짜 항상 테라 니 귀디 샤르네니 아니 로아에 계시죠. 니나라도 그거 가르라난다. 락 락족답 되어war라도 아니 거리는 싸야 되고 제로 당시지 아니 탑lâm soi gingang ta ngang di theory digang dinang la lecture sa was ani tanda technology sawa din ya biji chin se ke chiro ne ta dinang la ta leshi digi hong di leshi riyo leshi digi mi di ta tanda shindu de mi ya la chi ya dinang ta 당시 ke shi de phi ro ne ka cha ri ya 아직 가르르가 있네. 아직이 단데 시절에 가르르나 하나가 땅으로 아니 니에야 되고요. 아니 자디 니에다니 가지 이길을 바꾸고요. 이길을 바꾸지 귤을 내가. 아니 이길을 바뀌어 되니 아니 만도 말아줘요. 샤사 이제 샤사 되네 테니 아니 되리요. 샤리요. 아니 두방 디칼라나 아니 잡로라 아니 쟁고다 뷰나 리액티브 피지치레. 아니염도 매럼 API 그죠 아니 간다 speech to text here speech to text is 예전에 아니 얘기를 해요 이 표시치요 아니 쟁고 나라 하는 거 저기 데이터베이스 도 저라다 신디는 그 민당도 민당 내려지게 아니 리액 다이렉트리 트렌드 인디 무진 트렌드 등상다 리액이 다르디 위도 아니 리액 다이렉트 치게요 한 차르고 디다 트라이 큐 인스나 치자래요 근데 자디 당시 차간데 링킹이 내줘라 lensaji khadi gurge ne jo guredi menen API jichiran gurgoria an tundi ko ba an marang jo gi menen API ki rajo gi na thaba jo tik jira tik du ma jo database an dura ane database nang la tanda iche du nang la cheni iche nang la ba tanda nang la jeje ma la jeje ma ba du ra ne jeje ma di kaman ta ka ra ni kaman kaman gi to ba kaman ye gi to ba de la sha ni an sha ni ani ke shindu gi ming da ani shindu gi PDF ka ani YouTube ka jo 아버지 친구요. 아니 강의로 또 같이 했는데 비인도가 당시 비다 아니 저기 and developing community layer developer community 시라는데가 비다 제가 이거 강의 피드가 디스카고도 제대요. 안녕도 아니 비가 이수디 그래 먼저 양다 세세도 와다 강다 망고 비다 DND 칼레페 지도요. 아니 자비 한다 매랑 가지고 API 있네. 그런데 야페 매랑 가지고 API 샤워. 그냥 상마직 렌트입니다. 아니 귤디 상마직 렌트 맞다 어디야? 아니 나 나랑도 뭐네 아니 군대에다 비거는 파베다 트라파베다 귤파베티 가질 수 있지. 귤디다 세드도 돼요. 이 세드 가들 란다 벤다나 매නම් 기낭로가 뉴디 망고려거라. 뉴디 네네 자동 간데 세트에도 아니 어디 탑시를 세려요. 어디를 봐야 아니 귤난데 오라. 정말 야 어디 야고 야고도요. 인데도 상목하고요. 마음벌라는 아주 가르쳐 제는 난다 리시디 오픈 소스 레다 오픈 소스 랑 사고 선들 갈라나 아주 그 엔데스나 세가 주 알고리즘도 유이가 빠지지 대세 신기스 어디가나 아주 지금 뭐야 전바된 저기 디직 지도나 이가나 연념 주지 지도나 이거 시야가 돌아 아니 비주 진행인데 렐라 세라 제네로 지고요 근데 제가 데모지요 맞지 단다 로컬 런치 거래요 디 정말 통보해나 이 PPT 통보해나 PPT는 맞단지 웹사이트 지켜셔요 통보해나
동기도 마오디도
마우지래 아니 단당 가서 저기 때 미니멀리스트가 단다 어디 지지치리야 유니제 딱 배우치리야 근데나 안에 대해서는 제가 셔링 보드 제가 나서 근데지라 그 셔링 셔리리야 네 단다 비주얼 파베 아니 가서 이게 디가스 스튜디오야 근데나 강에 망고 치체야 아니 어디 이게 된다시나 मेलम को जो API लगी दिलो या ता हमदो जो API की दिया expression दिले गंगे ठहरो ता ngaram de nyam de tanda ngando le resource te mangu metu ka ani PDF ta de YouTube link de thong tak ta te ma de din de cha de ani thaganan do ji no
Okay, thank you.
na
Judges, were you able to see his screen?
Yeah.
Run some of the slides.
What Thomas on screen? Audience ya ko chane screen load che chamas load chene pa de so.
Kangi jo the PowerPoint website.
Ni ga Thomas na. Kanske not chief na kanske load che de so when you disconnect and connect it right in the load che chamas tai ne ya. Chi gon zu ti ko shi. Alla.
Kangi na kanda.
이상해, 토마스다.
가게.
제가 직통했어. 제가 통했어 말에. 다 지워지게나. This 지워져. 아니 제가 screen recording 찍고 있나. the presentation. the presentation 저도 was. 그럼 다시 screen recording 찍 비디오를 찍.
나는 지워지요. 네 빨아라 캔이라 디 미치나 kanske screen ma load ma 좀 탁인 체를 try to 봐. 디 담배 app 디 그게 신경 붙이더라. Of course 남기 problem 치다 디레다 디 신디 교수는 상담 신디 exact 많이 야마체 인데 치오티라 다인데 기지 그게 마신게 지나 인데레 그래서 남기가 인지 폰에 다디 티셔 인데 accessible 요래라 카드데
완도 디레 그게 당 진짜 맞다 양 디레 답변은 다 그게 신고마다 같이 양 신디 신고도 진짜 용기도
라라
진짜 용기도 같이 신디디 해야 신디디 신디 있나 다 그 신디디 명디 신고 말에 아니 신디디 체크할 수 신고야 야 방아디 신디디 그것도 있네다 야 단단 만도기 탭기나라 PDF 기나라 마치 PDF 상 유튜브니까 마치 되는 거 맞아 아니 딱이지 인지도 지나데 당하 신디 그 디가치 그 베게 나신게나 안에 디나 라네 니콜라 유튜브 URL right 안다지나
알레 굿 체레로 그 대신기요 담기나
맞아 기티 귀 타임에 나다 유튜브 나링가 디몽고도 니 신디에 디도 몽고도
알아 오케이 네네 and can I do content server is so logo samgo rege YouTube that already web gallery you go then so accessible task logo samgo
nganzu tanda open source ingi ko rata nganzu tanda yangi chi kharsa de lana lisi yangi kijing bu chi migi angdu lene luge jora ta nganzu na migi tanda nganzu tanda dinang la thuma mena ta thuma thuma menu lana hagu ra ne YouTube na ko ge link di che ndi ki luge ga de tanda page 쇠디 계정으로 통과를
okay let's go shina
The text to speech API the doesn't please do it the site the bishop and the
nganzu di text to speech di so mena mo di pisi chiwore ani tanda open source mangse le dido da donation do da sula di china ni yang kis song di nyonga de menam le kis teja do te ngai ja anyam du tanda open source sha ko ke jimu di karlana tanda nganzu peba ga jinang 세요 알고리즘 서치 알고리즘 디페크도 이거 컨디션 tanda nganzu kan ni chi go di cherta menam nang engyo기 다 이기디 법규디 이 바깥 좀 말아. 네 100% 얘기지 안 컨디션 database 나가도 like 도 진행 세나다. 이제 바깥나 라이가. 바깥면 나 같이 시뮬레이터 같이 두 딘데 진행 하고기 얘네 따단다 나가도 가돌레란 elastic search 도 비지지 비지 다다 스타이더 스킨데 이네 저기 당마사. 딘데 로레. 아니 심바 또도 donation 당 딘데기 페이지 줄래 직사나다. 아니 시청자들이야.
and Elasticsearch the the tokens to the Yoda.
Yeah.
This script could you search in the Yoda?
컬러베 주어하고 고정.
The Elasticsearch the Elasticsearch the tokenization as you see the can Luna the lookup to you the biggest script like the Yoda.
한국이 로컬 컴퓨터나 근데 try to change the 다다다 이게 backend 쟁구 지우고 그랬는데 쟁구 가지고 nhằm đi electric DSL to DMP 카고요. 그래서 지방티 야호동에서 이내 나로 로컬 government 대비 용의 용도요. 한디나랑 디를 제도야. 같이 시뮬레이트 거음에도요. 세변데스나 AI니 합격이 택시 95로 의결다 딜을 하고 갖고도 그래도 어디 인기 95% 치고 similar to intelligence 네 제대 친다. 이스 주요하게 용도.
There's no.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Thank you, Shija. Next team, Zomzom, and after that will be Team Dewa. Zomzom, if you could just join us on stage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good evening in India, I think. So our team with Zomzom here. So the problem that we identified and try to tackle is the lack of a central hub for community events in the Himalayan community. The absence of a centralized platform for community events leads to several issues. One, event organization challenges. Community members face difficulty in finding and registering for events, especially those who are less tech savvy. Event organizers struggle with scattered information, leading to overlapping schedules and inefficient use of resources. And moreover, limited cultural engagements in that without a central hub, opportunities to showcase and engage with our rich culture and traditions are restricted. This gap risks the erosion of traditional Himalayan values and practices, which currently are preserved by only a small segment of the community. So that's where Zomzom comes in. Next slide. Zomzom offers a quick and a seamless way to unite our community, no matter where you are. It simplifies the event experience for both community members and organizers by serving as a central hub for all local events. With Zomzom, community engagements is elevated to culturally relevant monthly themes and celebrations. For example, June as Sagadawa, September Tibet Country Month, July Month of Compassion, and March Activism Month. These themes allow organizations to spotlight their events and celebrate our rich culture and traditions effectively. By centralizing event information, Zomzom helps reduce the stress of marketing and promotion for organizers, allowing them to focus on creating outstanding events. This approach not only promotes our culture, but also democratizes access to our traditions and making it easier for everyone to participate and engage. So how does Zomzom work? With Zomzom, event curators can easily register organizations, create events, and track event metrics. Community members can register as users, find and sign up for events in their local areas, and keep track of upcoming events. Zomzom stands out with a culturally relevant monthly themes, special features, and rankings to help you discover the best curators in your community and in your local area. Plus, active members get featured for their engagement.
So here's the homepage for Zomzom. And then in terms of like the monthly features that Colin mentioned, those would be kind of later, but the main feature is that we have like a filter bar here. And let's say I wanted to look for an event happening in California, maybe like filter that out. There's a few of them that are here. And then maybe something in July. Let's filter that out. I guess not in July, but I could clear the filters as well. Let's look at some virtual events that are happening. We have the Sunzo Virtual College app. So yeah, this right here, if we wanted to kind of view like something that's happening, let's see like the Rokwa's third college fair and conference. You can go here and check the event page where we have the flyer here and then all the information about the event here. And if we wanted to sign up, we could like, this is just a mock RSVP, but let's go back home for something that's like more virtual, like, or here, let's create an event and see how that works. So I have a demo event here. Let's see. So Sunza Summer College App Workshop. So seems like this. If I was an event curator, I'd be copying and pasting this a little bit. And then July 27th. And then Sunza initiative. Let's say we're in education and we're doing virtual. Let's say we have some random Zoom link. And then this is our description. And let's create the event. All right. Oh. Or let's just make it in person for now. But for in person, the API in the back is going to be like a Google Map Places API. Let's say we're at the Hong Kong Lounge. So now we've created the event and we're in the Sunset Summer College application page here. And then, yeah. Jimbo, do you want to talk a little bit more about the rankings?
Yeah. I think I'm not going. Never mind. So for our rankings page, we're hoping to build more of a community feel so that users can be more engaged with the website. The first part where users can be spotlighted is like how many events they attended. So we have like some users first place and third place, and this would be all over the US. Then we also have more of like the organization side to encourage them to also have more events on the page. So we have like some organizations that were highlighted for the amount of events curated, but also their highest attendance, and for user ranked as well. For user ranked, these are features that we want to implement later in terms of what users would rate like specific organizations. But we really hope that like this is not just a central hub, but also like an engaging and interactive website for all users. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's go back.
Yeah. So what's next? Event curators will be able to collaborate, hopefully, and co-host events with other organizations, offering subscriber options and special features with badges. They'll also be able to book event spaces directly through Zoom. For users, the platform will offer subscriptions and the ability to follow organizations, see which of their friends are attending, and receive personally curated event recommendations in their area, and with rewards for their participation. And additional features would also include text and email notification, whichever you opt for, so that the event organizer doesn't have to, every time they create an event, create all these marketing materials, and then ability to vote for favorite events and organizations, and also hopefully hosting private events and so much more.
So I think you guys have like a couple of like really interesting concepts here, like the rankings and then like the attendees with friends, etc. Like when it comes to the more event organizer side, what things do you think you'd have to build to support getting more organizers to kind of come in here and make their events here first? Or maybe said differently, like what's your approach to getting more organizers on board? Like how would you tackle this? Would you try for specific organizations, try for specific communities, etc.? Like what were your thoughts there?
I think we definitely want to collaborate with very notable community organizations in the Himalayan community. And we find it especially important because a lot of the events, like we said, are scattered across different platforms. And so two organizations may not know, they're planning an event at the same day, at the same time, let's say. And for a person like me, I want to be able to go to both places. So for organizers, they'll be able to kind of forecast what events are happening and when and who's hosting it, so they don't have to have a overlap of events. And in terms of getting organizers on it, we definitely want to partner with, like I said, key Tibetan and Himalayan organizations, and through them promote Zomzom, and to be able to get their community, because Zomzom is made for the Himalayan community, their target audience is right there. And through that, we hope, Chunzom and Jimbo, do you want to add anything on that?
So one thing that we didn't have the time to implement, but definitely will, is like user authentication. So potentially like a Firebase backend. And so if we use that, then the user authentication will be pretty simple, and we can mainly do it through Google accounts. And then the event curators would be able to like create an organization page, which is one of the features that we wanted to be able to do. And then that organization page could see like the amount of like events that they're seeing. Like we would like to have simpler dashboard metrics for keeping track of like event attendees, and that would fuel like the rankings and things like that. But overall, like I think Google Auth would probably be the best in terms of getting everybody on stage. Like the main problem is just that like you have like tons of Facebook pages for every Tibetan association. Like you're not gonna find where Gorshe is unless you go to like 4 different like Instagram accounts or like look at the specific thing, and maybe it's written in Tibetan and you still don't know where it is. So a centralized hub would be best. And there already exists like event apps like Luma and things like that, but something specifically for Tibetan doesn't like exist, Tibetan events, and having something that's a lot more centralized allows Tibetan organizations themselves to be able to create something without a whole bunch of noise from other sorts of organizations. And then I was hoping that it'll be a lot more engaging for everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe to double click on that. So like you said, they're all these like event organizers. They have their own Facebook pages. Maybe like there's varying age ranges, different familiarity with technology, etc. What things do you think you need to build or fix here to make the barrier to using this thing to post events like easy, so that way they would actually come in here and do it? Or how would you convince them that this is like the place to do it? Because it seems like you said earlier, you get all the events first, and then you get the people who would want to go to events. So I think you'd have to solve that problem first, or you could go the other way, right? Like
that problem could be solved if we implement like a sign up page, because right now we're kind of linking to a mock Google RSVP form. But if we go ahead and like implement the keeping track of for a specific event, having how many users are there and all those things, the idea is that like a user would go to an event and then sign up there, or potentially scan a simple QR code. Once everybody has an account, like event curators have their own accounts, users have their own accounts, go to the event, scan something, and then check in. So keeping track of those metrics. And then also that would fuel, like they would have an incentive to check in because that would fuel their ranking. So something we would implement like a better sign up feature for right now, yeah.
Yeah. In addition to that, I think in the very beginning stages, we think it makes sense for the community organization that we're working closely with, for them to have some sort of demonstration where it's a one-time sign up. So if it's someone who isn't as tech savvy, they just need to go through this process signing up once. And next time, all they have to do is just go to the website and they see all the events happening in their location and whatnot, rather than like trying to go to a specific Facebook page every single time, a different one.
All right. Thank you guys. Zamzam. And let's move on. We'll have our last team, Team Dewa.
Okay. So stress, anxiety, and uncontrollable emotions. These are the 3 biggest struggles in the daily lives of people today. And what's worse is some of them don't even know it. In 1995, His Holiness the Dalai Lama assigned a task to neuroscientists to take the practices from Tibetan to Buddhist tradition and alter them so that they can be practiced anywhere by anyone. Then investigate them with rigorous tools of modern science, and if they proved valuable, disseminate them widely. The study found that practicing Tibetan Buddhist traditions correlates to longer life expectancy, reduced psychological distress, and an overall higher level of well-being. The issue, when examined through a scope of Tibetans in exile, becomes much larger because it becomes an issue of cultural preservation. We, as a strong Tibetan diaspora, hoping to free Tibet, cannot afford to lose our valuable and inherent skills of well-being and warm-heartedness. We saw the same need that many other amazing teams did of mindfulness, and our team, with the introduction of Dewa Place, will not allow for shortened attention spans and emotional immaturity to be the end of our story.
The problems Tibetans are facing is technology. Tibetans living outside of Tibet, through necessity, have adapted to Western technology-driven lifestyles. The problem is that this lifestyle, though offering countless opportunities for empowerment through careers and education, it also includes a culture of hustle, instant gratification, and ignorance. His Holiness the Dalai Lama knows the benefits of compassion in leadership. However, we believe that since 1995, the reliance on technology, it has become even harder to balance success in Western society and well-being and mental awareness. For the solution, we have created and modeled an app that allows Tibetans to integrate our culture and religious practices into our busy everyday lives. Our approach to culture and personal empowerment and enlightenment is threefold. The first solution we have is making traditional practices more accessible and modern, offering a large repository of guided meditations, teachings from Kushos and Lamas, and more. Users can take a moment to reconnect with themselves and our traditions.
Personalized help and guidance. Day-to-day issues such as mental distress and physical ailments can be solved using Tibetan mindfulness and medicinal practices. Users are prompted to express their troubles and receive personalized suggestions through our AI chat box that is based on Tibetan knowledge. And third, community building and support. Tibetans are powerful and resilient for many reasons, including in numbers. As GTPN has inspiringly proven with this hackathon, Tibetans can achieve more when they work together. On the app, users can join and create group prayer sessions to be virtually connected with Tibetans across the world, and this feature will decrease the feeling of solitude and loneliness while increasing the sense of community and pride. I'm now going to hand it off to Yushi and Dukkha to do our product demo.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we see.
Okay. So to process, I'll be going on between this coded app and my Figma. Some of the features on Figma are better developed, but for the tech sources, we used JavaScript with React Native framework. We used GlueStack AI for some front-end coding, and then we also used Supabase for back-end, like user database saving. So for our main app, when we log into it, there's a bunch of resources, including live events and YouTube videos and archive sort of videos that you can sort out. So based on if you're interested in mindfulness, Buddhism, meditation, herbal medicine. And then further than that, after you can also sort based on live event or like a existing video on YouTube or something. So you can click on medicine prayers and have all the descriptions. Same thing like YouTube videos, you have a link here. You can RSVP if it is like a live event that's upcoming, or like a group with a bunch of Tibetans if they want to have a prayer session or something, and have all the events show up on the calendar. And then moving to Figma, we have the chat, which is kind of like an AI driven based on how you're feeling. It will give you guided like if you're feeling sad, how are you feeling? You can have responses and conversation with it, and it will provide some resources and YouTube links if you're like angry and listen to like videos on how to manage anger and stuff, for example. So that'll be the chat tab, and then we would have a group prayer. This one, if I had more time, I would make it a bit less crowded, but given what we have like a daily prayer session, kind of mantra, kind of like a calming space for you to learn new prayers or to kind of be in your headspace. And then this group community can be like if you're having personal loss or some sort of struggle, it doesn't even have to be about prayer. If you just kind of have a sense of community with fellow Himalayans and like have sort of conversations, help with each other, and you can even write responses, have different tags for it. So like if your prayers for morning, post that and confirm it. So yeah, that is the place for connecting with people. So let's say you are like connecting with 3 of like 80-year-old Bopolas are praying every morning. Then they want to connect to each other. You can follow people as well. Going back to that, you can narrow it down based on how far people are from you. So for example, you're like XXX, you gotta pray with him every morning. You can see his profile and message him even. So yeah, that works for chat and people, and you can have your own profile. I mean, these aren't built, and have all the calendars and stuff in one place. For the chat, we were trying to implement Dewa AI that one of our group members created, but have some difficulty with. But that is also one of our plan is to involve that chat using the coded AI's code. But yeah, move back to you, Lisa.
I know we don't have a lot of time left. I was going to share some market statistics, but in short, there's a lot of demand for mindfulness and meditation apps right now. It's a growing industry, and we can now take some questions.
Yeah, I think the idea to, bring in like these different approaches to mental health for the Himalayan communities and the Tibetan community is really smart. When you're thinking about kind of like, let's say like your first 100 users on this app, how do you think you would get them? And like, why, you know what I mean? Like, who would that kind of person be?
Actually, I think maybe I can share. I had a slide of this just about kind of the trends and demands right now. So as I'm sure a lot of people have heard in the news and just in general talk, right now there is a big crisis with attention spans and just awareness and mindfulness. So I think that's a worry for a lot of people, especially experts who are conveying that message. And then the second dimension to this, the demand for this product, is that mindfulness apps and meditation is very popular and in demand right now. According to LinkedIn's last study, the global mindfulness meditation apps market was valued at $412 million in 2023, with a growing demand in downstream market. And the mindfulness meditation apps is forecasted to a readjusted size of $950 million by 2030. And so with this, we saw this demand, and a lot of these apps, we think they aren't rooted in authenticity of Buddhist values and Tibetan values and knowledge. So we wanted to create an app that was really rooted in authenticity and also address the issue which hits close to home to us about cultural preservation. So right now, when we were first starting with developing the app, we would like to market it just to Tibetan youth, where we think the crisis is most severe. But after that, I think we can expand it to older generations who aren't used to using technology. And then even beyond that, non-Tibetans who are just looking to increase their awareness, their insight, their mindfulness, and overall well-being.
For sure. What kind of Tibetan youth do you think would be like kind of interested or would want to like get on this app? Like, what do you think their reason to come would be?
So actually at my high school in Toronto, it's called Parkdale, and the population is actually over 50% Tibetan students. And what I've seen a lot is a lot of students just expressing that they do see through their a lot of people have addictions to technology and social media, which is like through no fault of their own. But from that, they see the effects of having a shortened attention span and a disconnect from the traditional Tibetan practices and Buddhist practices. So because of that, I think they're looking for ways to implement that in their daily life, but it's a lot harder when we live in a society that's so fast, so quick paced, and so puts so much emphasis on technology. So we wanted to kind of use that and create a way that they can have that mindful moment. So I think it would be mainly like students who grew up in the in the iPhone generation, and are seeing those effects now and are wondering what to do. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, definitely an interesting idea here. I was wondering for the AI chat component, what was the API that you used for
Oh, can you hear me?
that? Yes.
Okay, you asked for what the API was?
Yeah,
Okay, I
for
use
the AI
Together
chat.
AI. Together AI?
Together?
Yeah.
It's called Together AI.
Mm.
It sounds good. Yeah, I do daily meditation, and I'm forced to use meditation app from, India people, right? Because we don't have a great one from Tibetans. I kind of really want one that has, an app that has guided meditation from, Tibetan teachers. And we can set a timer and that kind of stuff. Is that something that you're planning to build into this, or?
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. I think that was like the main goal, was that we saw so much demand and we saw so many products on the market, but they weren't really based in Tibetan and Buddhist knowledge and values. So yeah, there's a lot of you can search for guided meditations as well as teachings and just like recorded prayers that you can follow along or just listen to. And then also there's that specific feature of if you're looking for something specific because you're feeling like angry or mournful or something specific like that, you can click that button or type that into the chat and it will give you Tibetan resources to use.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
quick question here. I mean, like others mentioned, definitely an interesting idea and much needed. How would you define a success for something like this?
I guess I'll take this one as well. I think just if we can see students like telling their stories of how they've seen results from using this app. There was the study that was assigned by Dalai Lama. It showed that even just a total of, I think it was like 8 hours meditation can change some of the way that the brain functions and the waves, like the amplitudes of the waves in the brain. So I think if we can, obviously that's a physical representation, but I think if there was real stories of people explaining how this helped them in their daily life, then that would be success.
Got it. Okay. So maybe testimonials. Okay.
Yeah, a metric of users as well. Number of users and kind of active posts going on, active members of people around you that you connect with. I think that would be a big telltale of success, is like having that sense of community every single small place around the country.
Like
Thank you.
some sort of user density, you're saying, like if there's who are connected and close by. Yeah, it's interesting idea.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Dewa. And that was the last team. Good job, everyone. That was good presentations. Apologies for a little bit of the technical difficulties we had there. But okay, so now the judges, we're going to reconvene in the judge room, and then all three of you can kind of discuss rankings, and then we will decide team one, first place, second place, and third place. And let's reconvene. I believe it's at 3 p.m.